Xbox, Record This is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. If you'd like to find out more, head to xboxrecordthis.com. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. DaddyDWALLY here, and welcome to Xbox Record This, episode 51. I have to take my time before I introduce my assistant to the co-host here. An important set piece here. I have to give a huge shout out. Can you see it now, gentlemen?
Right good old Gambit.
Gambit, yep.
Adds up.
1990s cartoon and comics.
The best version of Gambit.
The best version of Gambit right here. Shout out to Miso Pony. He found this still new in box at a random thrift store, one of his amazing thrift store finds. So I have to...
How much do you think he paid for it?
Oh, probably like $2. I don't know, something stupid like that.
That's a collector's item, dude. Straight up.
Dude, it's amazing. I've always wanted that. So shout out to Miso Pony. He'll never listen to this, but maybe I'll clip that. Joining me, as always, are the assistant to the co-hosts. Number one, Chipotle Bear. Chipotle Bear, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. Last night was our school prom, and I had to do after prom, so I did not get home till very late. That's why I wasn't on Xbox last night, but got back from our trip this week, which we'll talk about later, and it's a busy week because of prom and Wish Week and all that jazz. So I'm super pumped here to talk about games. There's some cool stuff in the news, and we are officially 1 month out from graduation for me. So it's a busy time, but also a very exciting time. So I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I've been sick, you guys. I went out, made it out to Pennsylvania, caught the sickness that all of my family had last week. Horrible sinus infection, just constant boogers, and not like a runny nose, just I always having to blow my nose and nasty mucous membranes coming out, and it's been not good, but I haven't felt bad. And well, one of the days I had to call it early after we had a meeting, a presentation, but I've been feeling a lot better today, but my voice may sound a little off. And joining us, as always, the assistant to the co-host is BubbleBoy and 7. Welcome back. Wait, I have to say this right now. Go listen to episode 50 or I'm firing you. Welcome back.
Dude, you don't even understand what kind of 2 weeks it's been. It's funny you mentioned prom, Jose. Guess where, I just learned this like 2 days ago. Guess where Gateway's prom is at? If you had one guess, and Daniel, you might not be able to guess this, but Chapeau Bear should. Just the... God, I don't even want to put it. I can't.
The
if I gave
Hilton at the Denver Tech Center that we had our junior year.
Your gymnasium.
I'll give you one hint, and Jose will get it right.
The Fillmore.
Infinite Synergy.
Oh, God, what was that venue called? I can't remember the name of the venue, but
I don't know what it was called, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
right?
I do know exactly what you're talking about. Oh,
Yeah,
I can't think. What's it name? I can't think of the name. I can't think of the name right now.
I don't know what it's called. Something Manor.
Yeah.
Is where Vic's first marriage occurred.
Yeah. It was a very nice venue for the record.
Yeah. I know. I was looking at pictures. I was like, why does that
Isn't
look
it in like Westminster?
Yeah.
That's far from you guys, dude.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm not going.
Central's was somewhere in Parker. I know that. Anything else, BubbleBoy? You just wanted to bring up prom location for Gateway, or?
I don't remember what else is happening in my life.
All right, moving on. Let's jump right into the show. Actually, yep, we're jumping right into it. Guys, we're starting out with some shout outs because we've got so many XRT popping off again as usual. And guys, I love it. I got to give a huge XRT welcome. And I'm going to see if you guys can recall. Do you guys remember who was QB1 our senior year at Green Mountain High School?
One Aaron Beard?
Burns.
Shout out to Aaron Beard, Green Mountain QB1. I ran into him today at Costco. He was selling these fancy $1,000 grills with like Wi-Fi connections and all kinds of stuff. I guess he's a big big Mr. Big Shot over there at this grill company. And of course, I don't remember anything because, of course, as good of a friend as AB is, he just talked straight up, the good old days with me. And we just caught up a bunch of stuff. Didn't even try to sell me this ridiculous grill that he knew I was never going to buy. And he wanted me to tell you guys hello and what's up. And he hopes you all
awesome.
well.
Huge shout out to Aaron, man. I love that boy.
Yeah, he was looking good, looking great. He looked like he bulked up a little bit, looking just fantastic. Maybe matching DaddyDWALLY's physique in the 37. Well,
wow.
I'm being generous, AB, if you're listening. No, but it was really good to see.
Did you tell him about the show?
Yes, I told him about the show and told him he was really interested. He wanted me to shout out to Ray, too, and I have to remember to tell him that I ran into him. And he still hangs out with Ben DeVault, so shout out to...
Wow. I can remember playing beer pong with water at Aaron Beard's house with Ray and Ben DeVault one time.
Oh, wow.
You guys were just like...
You were just...
Yeah.
You're good kids.
A classy bunch.
Well, yeah. Well, and I thought you had AB on there. So Chase ran into Antonio Bowling 2 weeks ago at their daycare. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it was the first time they'd ran into each other
Picking up
there,
the
and
kids.
they'd both been sending their kids for like 3 years straight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen bowling in forever, so shout
small
out
world,
to
man.
Antonio as well.
Couple of ballers.
So yeah, because it was funny because Aaron just all the time he was like, "Do you talk to any guys from high school still?" And then I was like, "Well, I think I just talked to these." And then pretty sure
He's
I
like, "Yeah,
mentioned
these two
everybody else, and
jackwagons
remember-
over here on my
and then,
podcast."
Yeah, and then he's like, "Well, what about Ray and Jose?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, yeah, I totally forgot we host a podcast too." And he's like, "You're still in contact with everyone." I'm like, "Yeah, we had a great group of friends from high school. I'm very lucky to."
We really did.
Yeah, we did.
It's apparently not normal.
Yeah, it isn't normal. And Aaron also told me about some other people from GM that are not doing well. So we don't need to talk about that. So again, shout out to Aaron Beard, QB1, Green Mountain High School. Let's move on with the shout outs. Huge shout out to Balo Onelo Magba. Magaba Tunzana for following us on Facebook. I hope you're not a bot. And another shout out to Michael Berquist for following us on Instagram. Jose, do you know this person?
I do. Mr. Michael Berquist is a fellow teacher in Jeffco, but also another former student of Bogus's and mine. So finally, it looks like we're getting some coverage in the Bear Creek area. So shout out to Michael Berquist. He's a theater teacher. He's a great teacher, man. They just did Chicago as his production, actually, which is super rad. So I hope it went well for you, Michael. Good.
Right.
Glad to hear from you, buddy.
Where does he teach?
Oh, it's a middle school, and I'm blanking right now. I'm so sorry, Michael.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Michael. Please send us an email. Just like a huge shout out to Claire Fowney, which BubbleBoy doesn't know the background to. So, Jose, why don't you take this? Even though, Claire, I want you to know I wanted to read this email because I think I do a good job, reinterpreting or interpreting your voice and what your letter would sound like if it was directly from you. But Mr. Martinez himself said he would like to read it. So, Chipotle Bear, and take it away, my friend.
So just real quick for Chance and our listeners, Claire Fowney is a former student of mine, now very much an adult and living a wonderful life, which we're going to get to hear about here in a second. But she reached out to me recently about when I had said that I had beaten Elden Ring and was like, I just downloaded it. And so we kind of reconnected. I told her about the show. And so here she is writing in. Super glad to hear from her. So her letter reads, "Hello, gentlemen. Big ups to Chipotle Bear for speaking to my only child / main character ego and hinting at a shout out for me in episode 50. Not sure what it says about me that the sheer idea of a mention of my name or liking an Instagram post caused me to devote the next 8+ hours of podcast time to listening to your previous episodes, but I'm very glad that I did. After receiving that message from him, I started with episode 42 because I saw something about Step Brothers being the best Will Ferrell movie, and so yes, I was sold. And I listened up through 49, considering I commute to Colorado Springs for work at least once a week. It was a pleasure. Thank you for the
Claire,
show.
Wait, I got to interrupt right there. You've got quite a backlog, so hopefully we'll keep you busy for those other days down the spring.
Those trips to
another
I'd like to
40
recommend,
episodes. You can
what
skip
episode
episode
was
0
the
and introduction.
Chipotle
Actually, no.
Bandit?
You should listen to all of them. I take that back. Listen to all of them, starting with episode 0.
Next paragraph. Thank you for the show you're making. I've been delighted to listen to the three of you converse, your gaming adventures, and of course, all that good food. The references are also solid gold. Lost it on the D's Nuts audio at the end of episode 47, and I crack up every time Michael Scott chimes in.
That's what she said.
Hearing people share all about something they receive such joy from, totally nerding out, is one of my favorite activities. It's especially cool to hear about so many of the common interests I would have never known were shared otherwise. I'd identify myself as more of a gaming ally than a true quote-unquote gamer. My reflexes are poor, coupled with the perfectionist competitiveness. It's a real lose-lose combo. But I've been trying more games and have always been a somewhat closeted nerd playing Pokemon since I could walk, essentially. Thanks to my incredibly patient significant other who's taught me more about Xbox and waits in silent irritation as I wander around Limgrave just trying to use both joysticks in tandem, I can see myself being a gamer one day, albeit not a good one. I reckon Elden Ring was the worst game to start with. Maybe I should, or should I try Skyrim instead? I always hear I should try Skyrim. Yes. I agree. But I'm trying to, and loving every minute of it anyway, despite the constant dying. Anything remotely D&D, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones feeling has my vote pretty quickly. Thus, here we are. Playing games with concepts I find entertaining just has me happy to be part of something. Example, I started Assassin's Creed 2 in 2011 simply because I love that pieces of it were historically accurate to European history, although I was never good enough to complete the campaign. It's something I'd say I'd love nonetheless, and that's how I've really felt about gaming. It's not exactly about playing for me, it's the community and being around people who are super invested and passionate about something. It's just fun. I like watching the satisfaction gleaned by the accomplishments in gaming. I love art and the creativity and all the game concepts available these days. Sorry for the long message, but it's just to say thank you for helping me truly embrace my inner nerd, teaching me so much more about the world of Xbox and gaming, and allow me to feel part of conversations that address so many things I love, from Star Wars to Popeyes. We would love to hear
for Popeyes.
She finishes it with, would love to hear your favorite Popeyes side. With my family being from Louisiana, there's a correct answer to this prom. Expect more from me in the future. Gratefully, your newest big fan, C. Fowney. And just as a little side note at the bottom, she added that she's a certified therapeutic recreation specialist, CTRS, which means that I use the building of quality of life to address as deficits or provide therapeutic encounters. I love the use of video games in both a behavioral health setting and adaptive gaming. I've been losing my mind in a good way, devouring all the new research being done on its benefits. I would be honored/humbled if you were ever interested in a guest to have that conversation with, and available anytime. So I'm sure we will take you up on that, Claire. I'm going to be honest with you.
Sure.
Here's my answer for the Popeye thing, and I'll pass it to my co-hosts.
Okay, I was going to say, I know the correct answer, and so you noobs can go first.
My correct answer is you don't get a side. You get a second sandwich. That's my answer. Chance, what about you?
That's a great... still wrong in this case, because she wants...
I know what you
red
really.
beans and rice.
Correct. That is the correct answer. Red beans and rice, the greatest side ever created. And you know what? I need to get that more because I don't do that. I'm Team Jose. Well, Team Walenzik. What am I talking about? I'm the one who created. Yeah. I always get the 2 spicy chicken sandwiches, but red beans and rice.
I started the red beans and rice.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Oh,
God.
my.
No, you didn't. Chance, I've been having red beans and rice before I met you, and I'm not exaggerating. My dad is obsessed. Do you want me to go get my dad?
Okay,
Yes.
at Popeyes.
Yes, at Popeyes from the chicken. Yes, I had it before I moved
told
here.
you the
before
first
I moved
time
here in
I
Chicago.
had Popeyes. Okay, I'm not sure that counts, but sure.
Okay, I'm
So
telling you,
on
my
this
family are
podcast,
huge red beans and rice
I was given
fans.
a hard time for getting red beans and rice the first time.
Who gave you a hard time? Because I suggest you get.
I don't even remember.
Go back.
I don't even remember.
Claire, go back and listen to it. It was probably Jose, and I guarantee he said that's good, but I would still get 2 sandwiches and that. I never gave you crap on this, and I'll go get my dad. He's upstairs right now, and he'll tell you.
No,
that we've been
I
having
do
red
remember
beans
you
and rice
saying,
forever.
Yeah, no, that's my dad's favorite.
Okay, there we go. Claire, correct answer, red beans rice. But also, shout out to mac and cheese, maybe? I don't know. Do they have any else? Somebody said the fries.
Their fries are solid.
Was
They're
it
fine.
Lana? Sorry, the fries are... shout out.
I mean, their taters and gravy are good, too.
Well,
Nonetheless, Claire, thank you for writing in and for listening.
Yes,
We're happy to have you.
Huge,
Truly.
What a
huge shout out.
What a cool sounding job. I gotta do a massive
Yeah.
shout out to my fellow mental health professional. That's incredible.
We'll definitely have you on the show sometime and get some insight on some of the behavior health and adaptive gaming. Okay, we'll definitely have you on. Shout out again to Claire. Thank you so much for writing in to us. Also, I wanted you to know, guys, I checked our YouTube. Usually we have comments, so this is a non-shout out to X Bacon Gamin, who did not write a comment on the episode he starred in. So non-shout out Bacon, non-shout out Bogus. Very disappointed we didn't hear.
It's been a busy week for us all.
Chipotle Bear, where can people write to us if they would like to write in, just like Claire did?
You can always write in xboxrecordthis@gmail.com or on any social media. Always feel free to reach out or to us individually. Always happy to interact with that fan base that seems to be growing steadily.
Always remember, you can slide into our DMs right there, Michael Scott. Just slide on in. That's what she said. Moving on to the warm-up and opener, guys. We're going to go back and get BubbleBoy, since he couldn't be a part of our amazing discussions, and apparently he didn't give a caca since he didn't listen to it, and get his top 5 fast food sauces and also his redacted menu items, and then we're going to jump into Halo Episode 4 Impressions Review. We're not talking about 5 tonight. I didn't watch it yet, so this is only 4. And I hear 5 is good at the end, but we're not talking about it.
So good.
Yeah, I hear even people who are hating on it.
so far.
Well, okay. Well,
What?
We're not talking about it.
Who hated on it?
No, I'm saying the people who hate on the show were like, the end of 5 was awesome, and they're pumped. Okay.
It's based.
Correct. Can you give
Did I
me...
use that correct?
Yes.
I did?
Can you give me... Just give us your fast food sauces, please.
Number 5, Arby's. Number 6, Chick-fil-A sauce. Number 3, Good Times Wild Dippin' Sauce. Don't even.
Did you go 5, 6, 3? You just said 5, 6, 3.
You just went 5, 6, 3, Chance.
You got to go 5, 4, 3, bud.
I said Arby's
No.
sauce.
And then you
4,
said number
Chick-fil-A.
6, Chick-fil-A. Number 3. So
Dude,
you
it's
had 4.
been a long week.
Okay.
I got it written accurately here. Number 2, Raising Cane's cane sauce, and number 1, Whataburger spicy ketchup.
Whataburger spicy ketchup.
Dude, what is with BubbleBoy's list? Do we even have a Whataburger in Colorado? Do we have one?
Yes, we do.
One
I
in
got
the
it
Springs?
2 Fridays ago.
Springs
in
now, right?
Colorado Springs, and they have all the sauces, man. You can get whatever you want kind of sauce down there, but all you really need is the spicy ketchup. I'm sorry, ketchup is a classic. Just a little bit of spice to it. It's perfect. I love it.
And Whataburger's like Chick-fil-A now, where you can actually buy their sauces in like huge squeeze bottles,
Yeah,
like
I'll
for
just
your
have
own
to try
pantry.
Yep.
A subpar list. BubbleBoy, give us your top redacted, discontinued food items
All
as
right,
well, please.
Fine. At number 5, Dairy Queen Nerds Blizzard. Number 4, Dairy Queen Nerds Blizzard. Number 3, Dairy Queen Nerds Blizzard. Number 2, Dairy Queen Nerds Blizzard. And number 1 actually came back recently, but I didn't know it did, was the Wendy's Spicy Chicken Nuggets. They left for a long time, then they came back. It's not actually my number 1. My number 1 is the Chipotle Chicken Pollo Asado that just left last week. And I'm pissed because they're still having commercials for it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just got
furious.
an email for it today.
Yeah. No, it's terrible. And I went to, at least not the one in Aurora, and the one in Parker does not have the Pollo Asado. And I was like, I can't even believe I said it. And Shannon, because Shannon was ordering it, and she's like, "What do you mean you don't want Chipotle?" I was like, "I'm furious. I don't want it.
It's probably too spicy for everyone
It's
out
too
there.
soon."
That is not only a terrible take, but a terrible list as well. There, BubbleBoy, you give me
Nerds
caca all the
Blizzard, man.
time.
Nerds Blizzard.
You list Nerds Blizzard for 4 times, and then you say Wendy's, and then you're like, well, not really, and then it's actually Chipotle. Don't ever give me crap about my list again, because yours have been straight caca the past month. So let's move on. Halo 4 impressions.
I can just
Let's
leave.
Jump
Do you want me to
into
go?
it. You give me crap all the time about my list, and then here I am.
Because you're like,
spitting fire.
number 1, never played this game before,
Oh
never
my
seen
gosh.
this movie.
Please write in Xbox fans.
Moana. I haven't
and
seen Moana
defend
yet,
my
but I
honor
hear it's
here
really
on these
good.
lists. Guys, let's talk about Halo Episode 4, the helmet on, helmet off drama in Episode 4. Jose, give me your quick impressions of the episode. To be honest, I'm trying to remember. Oh, it was cool. Okay, one cool scene when she was the Kai. What is it? 125? Is that her? her call sign?
Spoiler alert for the fans. If you don't want to hear this, skip to the next part quick.
Yes, spoiler. Well, it'll be in the time stamps. It'll be in there. So spoiler warning, spoiler warning, spoiler warning. When she's holding all the Covenant weapons, that was super cool when they were in the
Needler, and she was
with
talking about her
Miranda
favorite
Keyser.
gun.
Dude, and the Super Combine, she even said
That was
that,
dope.
and they explode, and they're all huge too, and everything like that. So
Chance, don't
that
do it.
was. Oh God.
Anyway, so my
Jose, talk to
my
me.
quick thoughts are this: it was okay. It was honestly a pretty close down par to episode 3 for me, in the sense that like they're truly trying to build a story. It wasn't a whole lot of action. It was cool to see with the helmet back on. Like I did like seeing that piece of it. I know what they're doing with keys. I just I don't care. That sounds mean. I just want to get to like battles.
You don't
like, I'm ready.
care about Keys? I don't care about Quan.
No, Halsey. I'm sorry. I meant Halsey. I meant Halsey. Not
Yeah.
Keys. Keys
I
I
was
like
like,
a lot.
hold on.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
I was
Keys.
like, I like Keys a lot. She's
No,
good.
I actually really like what they did with Keys in
I
this
like
episode.
Halsey too.
Where they were like,
What'd you
it-
think
it
of
was with the other
of
Spartans.
young Halsey that looked no younger whatsoever?
I think Halsey's a stone cold fox, if you ask me. No, I think it's because they age a lot slower, so maybe that's why. I think they've had some technology advancements to have humans live. That's gonna be my guess. I don't know.
I mean, I like that they were building the like relationships between Keys and the other Spartans, and like I like that they started with like she removed the pill, and the dyeing the hair red thing was like a little like I get why, and I understand it. I do. I just all I could think about was like, you really want gun grease in your hair? Like that's all I couldn't get past that piece of it. But
Wait till episode 5.
But I really liked the like the jokingness they got, and I really like that the story element of like, even though everybody utilizes the Spartans and they clearly are this like massive important tool, there's a huge amount of distrust between the Spartans and basically the rest of the world, including the UNSC, right? And I like that there was that element of like Keys saying, hey, I don't know why I've ever not talked to you about the language of the grunts, because you were out there, you hear these, and like, so there's this like key that happens and they translate this word. Like I actually really liked that element of the story. I liked that a lot better than what was actually happening with like Master Chief. Like I get it. Again, I know it's important. I understand why. It just wasn't engaging for me in the same way the other stuff was. And then the other quick thing, I thought it was badass that there was a female assassin on the other planet. Like I thought that was really cool to have that as the element that was hunting. What's the girl's name?
Quan,
thank you. And same thing there, like that story is like mild. Like it's fine, not bad, not great, kind of in the middle for me. But
I would say I think it would just be better if it was just his friend. What's his name?
Soren.
Soren. I think if it was just him like doing something for Chief, like investigating something, it would be better. The whole Quan thing, no offense to her, it seems completely forced. Like if it was just Quan doing a solo mission, like spying and going after that guy, who, by the way, he seems like a pretty good guy.
Oh yeah. Also, this Paramount has a thing about butts, but like right, like
butt giving us the ass.
His butt too.
I love it.
Like straight up in this thing. Anyway, those are my thoughts, man. I'm excited for episode 5. I'll watch it later.
BubbleBoy, what did you like? Actually, tell us what you disliked and then what you liked.
No, I'm not shaking my head over disliking things. Jose's summing up of it, I think, was perfect. I loved the research on the language. I thought that was so cool.
And let me just say this too, Chance. I think Jose said it best too. The best part of that episode was definitely the other Spartans and seeing those interactions and just the three of them talking, and you get a little bit more time with it. Like that was definitely the most interesting. So sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. And Kai, like she always kind of gives me the creeps a little bit, and I don't exactly know why. I can't wait for both of you to watch episode 5 because I totally missed your text that you were like, yeah, we're doing 4, not 5, dummy. And I was like scrambled to try and watch 5. It's so good. It's so good. Wait, you think that Needler was cool when they picked it up? You just wait. You guys got to watch it tonight. It's the best one.
It was interesting with the Needler, the size of it. Just proportionally, it seemed way bigger than in the games.
They're bigger.
Huge guns.
I mean, you think about it, they're holding it, and it goes like down here and way up here.
But like, remember when they made that Nerf version a couple years ago? It was not that big.
Jose.
But I know, I understand it's not the gun. I get it. You don't have to make fun of it. I'm just saying, like, dude, proportionally.
You could even see the Covenant carbine in the background. Like that thing was huge. Like I think really cool, really cool. The show's definitely growing on me, and I have to say this. The crazy part about Halo is like a lot of the hardcore fans have a big deal, are not liking it because like this isn't our Halo. It's not staying true. It is and isn't, it's taking its time. I think if they would have done a better job up front loading, giving us what we wanted, I think people would like it more, but I feel like it's building. And I have to say my aunt, my like 70 something year old aunt is like, today I met up with my family for, my cousin coming into town. We had brunch this morning. She's like, we were talking about what we've seen, movies, TV. She's like, have you seen Halo? And I was like, what did you say to me, Tia Lupi?
She's up?
She's like, yeah, have you been watching him? I'm like, of course I've been watching Halo. I love Halo. She's like, I love it too. And I was like, my aunt is loving Halo. She's like, oh, I love everything sci-fi. She's like, it's so good. I was talking to her about like certain characters, and she is really paying attention and really into it. So I have to say, people who
Impressive.
aren't Halo fans are enjoying it. And I also heard Chris Raygun, shout out to Chris Raygun, Sacred Symbols. He was talking about how his parents are watching it and enjoying it too. So maybe, you know,
Everyone
you're
loves those
not
master cheeks, bud. That's what it's about.
yeah, the specific audience, you know, that everyone like us gamers, we wanted it to be for us, but it's not for us, and it is for other people, and other people seem to be enjoying it. And I thought it was so cool. I'm like, well, Tia Luby, let me tell you, there are 6 amazing games that you can jump into if you want, if you're really into Halo.
Or a podcast that follows each episode in detail.
No, I mean, I guess I could, but I thought it was so super cool to hear that. So I guess maybe
Isn't that what makes it that much weirder how bad that opening scene was then and how violent it was? The rest of the show isn't super violent.
not yet. I think there's going to be more moments.
Episode
like
5
that.
has a massive battle and it's not anywhere close to
Okay.
But
No-
I think
no
I
more
think the
spoilers.
violence was a way to show how threatening the Covenant was, because otherwise,
Yes.
especially because it wasn't the most amazing CGI, you'd feel like this is like a jokey.
Dude,
One
when
quick
she
thing I
blew
have to
up,
say.
I thought that was good. I mean, I was like, oh man, the violence.
One
was
quick thing
good.
I have to mention in my defense. So remember back when we were talking about Resident Evil, the new movie, like Raccoon City or whatever it
yeah.
is.
I still need to see that.
So imagine if instead of a show, Paramount made a movie, right? And so they only had, let's say, 2 hours to try to shove in all of this and build a story and like that. And
I'm sure that would have been a great movie.
it would have probably been fine, but it probably wouldn't have been amazing. That's honestly what I feel like is a pretty good comparison to what Raccoon City was. Like, if they would have added the chance to make a show instead of a 2-hour
That would be
movie,
better?
they probably could have done a lot more of what they wanted. And it's just, I think that's a harder sell because zombies are pretty played out at this point in media and stuff like that. But think about it that way. Like, I know you can still make fun of me, and when you watch it, I know you will, but it wasn't horrible. It wasn't terrible. It just wasn't amazing. It was like they needed more time, and they needed just literally hours to build out the story that they didn't have in the movie. But overall, I still enjoyed it in the same way I'm now enjoying Halo, and I feel vested. Like, I want to see how this comes together.
Completely. And I have to say, I'm more invested in this than I am Moon Knight at this point. Moon Knight has just gotten like,
Dude, did you watch the
What is
episode 4?
going on?
You
The
love
end of
episode
it?
4?
The end of
I
it?
guess I'm not
great.
at the end of it because I'm like, dude, what is,
Dude,
this is,
I loved it until the end, and then the total twist, and I was like, I don't know what's going on, and I'm very confused.
I'm still confused.
What,
on
you
what's
didn't
going
like 4?
on. I haven't seen
Jose?
all 4. I think I'm on
Not the
4.
ending. I loved everything until the ending.
We'll talk about Moon Knight next week. We can talk about that
Interesting.
too. So,
No,
dude,
we
Moon
gotta
Knight
talk
has
about
not been the
Batman
first.
next week.
I have still haven't seen it. The first thing that was cool in Moon Knight was that first episode, and then him getting sued. I'm like, oh, look at this guy, and then nothing happens in the next 2 episodes, and then it's just banter, and I'm just like, oh gosh, what? And it's too much of this.
I liked 4 a lot, actually.
4 is good.
Just
All right,
until the very
I'm
end.
on 4, I believe, and let's hope it gets better. Let's move on, guys. That's probably going to be. I never mentioned this to you. I was thinking maybe that just should be our warm up from now. Is like, what have we been watching? What's going on? Something like that. And that way we
Oh,
don't
yeah,
always have
I
to
like
think
it.
about lists and everything, and we can save our
we watch
list.
a lot of stuff.
Exactly, and we can
Very
save
true,
our
I like
list for like the good old days. So that's probably planned on
Do you
warm up.
need-
What have you been watching?
Do you need a HBO Max subscription?
Do I need,
Do you need
one?
to bum my... Yeah, do you need...
No, I have
You gotta
HBO
watch
Max.
the Batman.
I have it.
Okay, you gotta watch it. It's
I
fantastic.
still want to see it in theater.
Dude,
feel
when you're
like
going to
it
run out of
deserves
time,
that.
bud, you might as well just bite the bullet. It
No,
was
it's
good. I
still
watched it
there.
at home. It was rad, dude. Just turn up
It's
the volume,
great.
turn off the lights. It'll be rad. It'll be all right. Pop some popcorn. Make it a thing.
I need that 85-inch TV, but we'll talk about that later. Guys, let's move in to Xbox news. Guys, we're going to start out with our favorite segment. Well, actually, this is a good segment. Coming soon to Xbox Game Pass, and this is coming from Megan Spur, community lead. This was just posted a few days ago on the 19th. I'll start with the first one, and then Jose, you want to do the next one, and then Chance, so on and so forth.
I want to do number 3. Chance do number 2. I want to do number 3.
Okay. I'm excited to share that we're working with Ubisoft to bring more incredible games to the Game Pass library. In the next 2 months, Assassin's Creed Origins, one of my favorites, guys, actually my favorite open world Assassin's Creed, incredible, shout out to Bayak, and also the best DLCs of all of them, will join the library of cloud console PC via Ubisoft Connect app. We will also bring For Honor Marching Fire Edition to PC also through the Ubisoft Connect app. And then, Chance, tell us about F1 2021.
It's lights out and away we go. Game Pass Ultimate members can experience a gripping F1 story with cloud gaming via EA Play. Hit the track with their own team and live every Formula One fan's ultimate fantasy as F1 2021 joins a collection of racing games available to play on EA Play. No,
I'm going to read the
thank
next two because I actually wanted to read the third game here. I'm sorry.
Okay,
So,
yeah, I
Need for
know you
Speed.
want to. I'll read this one. I'll read this one, Jose. I know you. I was like, he wants to read Need for Speed.
I'm
I
pumped
got you.
about the next one. Yeah, I'm pumped
Need
about
for
this one.
Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered on cloud. Feel the thrill of the chase and rush of the escape. And Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered now available with cloud gaming via EA Play. Unleash a savage sense of speed both as an outlaw and a cop in the world's hottest high performance cars. Outsmart the heat or take down lawbreakers with tactical weaponry at your disposal and a heart pumping, socially competitive racing experience. It's time to reignite the pursuit. And Jose, tell us about the next one.
This one I was a total like out of the blue for me, but when I heard it, I literally was like, that sounds amazing. I cannot wait. It'll be the next game I play. Turnip Boy commits tax evasion, cloud console PC, its ID at Xbox. Take control of the titular Turnip, seeking a way to pay back his debts and to a corrupt onion mayor. Featuring a blend of puzzle solving, dungeon exploring, and plant harvesting, Turnip Boy commits tax evasion is a cute but epic journey to avoid paying taxes and tear down the establishment. That sounds amazing. Like, I cannot wait to try that. And if it's on cloud, that'll be an awesome thing to play remotely, which is rad.
Very cool. A very unique looking game. I can't wait to hear your impressions. Also coming soon, we kind of already read these. I believe we already read these last time. I did want to say some Game Pass perks. MLB The Show 22 launch bundle. You can get it now. F1 2021 Deluxe Upgrade Pack available now. Halo Infinite Double XP and Challenge Swap. Better go grab that. We got a new Battle Pass coming.
Yep, May
We'll talk
3rd,
about that
baby.
later. And touch controls are added to a bunch more games. Ben 10, Besiege, Danganronpa, Edge of Eternity, Hitman Trilogy, Lawnmower Simulator, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. We just talked about that. Paw Patrol, Chance's favorite game. And Race with Orion, Transformers Battleground, Windjammers, and Zero Escape. And leaving on April 30th. This is your last chance, guys. Cricket 19, Outlast 2, Secret Neighbor, and Streets of Rage 4. That was a good game, but a little difficult for me. Shout out to X, a Bacon Gaming. I know he's been putting in work on the Streets of Rage 4. Jose, you said you were going to play the turnip game. Chance, are you going to play any of these, or do you got another backlog? I don't think I'll be playing any of.
I will
it
also be
depends.
playing Bug Snacks.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, Bug Snacks. Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to try the tax evasion one. That just sounds way too cool.
Yeah, me too. So I'll wait, Jose. You got to give us your impressions, and then maybe I will check that out as well. Let's move in to the next story, guys. Halo Infinite update April 2022, and I'm actually going to read. I clicked on the actual letter from Joseph Staten, and I do want to read this because I always like to hear and give a shout out to the developers. So I will be reading this, but basically, guys, the Lone Wolf event, like Jose said, is starting May 3rd. And this is a little, we need to talk about this all the way through November. So it's going to be another long 6-month season, just like the first one. New maps, Catalyst and Breaker. New modes, King of the Hill, Land Grab. They also altered these, you guys. So King of the Hill isn't as how we remember it. There's a little tweaks. Land Grab, same as that as well. And the last Spartan Standing is like a mini battle royale. I believe that's only free for all. There's going to be some narrative events, Interference and Alpha Pack. Interference is the May 3rd through the 16th, and then Alpha will be July 19th through August. There's another Battle Pass, 100 levels. Fractured events are going to come back. It's Fracture Entrenched, and hopefully in August, they're aiming for Campaign Network co-op. Not split screen, this will be network. And also there's going to be Campaign Mission Replay, Forge, Open Beta, September target, and quality of life improvements. Hello, everyone. With Season 2 locked and loaded for May 3rd, we wanted to share a roadmap. I'm going to just kind of skip a little bit of this. So with all that in mind, here's the roadmap for 2022. This roadmap reflects the same studio priorities that we shared back in March. Sorry, this is coming from Joseph Staten over there at 343, by the way. I did not say that earlier. The head of creative Halo Infinite. Basically, Joseph is just taking over. He's the main man over there. We want to address issues negatively impacting player experience, complete Season 2 and delivering its promise on May 3rd, and continuing to work on Campaign Co-op Forge in Season 3. With a priority 0 of team health and getting ourselves into a sustainable development rhythm so we can deliver great experiences to all of you while maintaining a healthy work-life balance. We know we need to deliver more content and more features quickly. Staying true to priority 0 means that sometimes we need to slow down in order to stay healthy and move faster later. But we're also aggressively looking at ways to accelerate. For example, we want to get the Forge toolset into your hands sooner rather than later so that the awesome community maps and modes can be more rapidly make their way to the game. Chance.
He can't see me, can he?
No, I cannot see you. Sorry. I'm reading it. What did you want, Chance?
Nothing. I really want to talk about priority 0 and Joseph
We
Staten,
will. Let me just get through this. Okay, go ahead. What is it? What is it, Chance?
No, go. I didn't know you couldn't see me.
I'm literally looking at the screen.
That makes so much sense. And like halfway through, I was like, oh, duh, of course he can't see me.
Okay, now I can see you guys. I've split the screen. You know what, Chance? Now I don't even know where we are. Okay, as we continue,
You're talking about Joseph Staten,
I'm
and I
skipping
want to
ahead.
give a huge shout out to Joseph Staten because I used Priority 0 and Joseph Staten in one of my interviews this last week, and it did not land at all.
Really?
I tell you, people, and I don't even care. I was telling Chipotle.
What do you mean? Like they didn't appreciate that you made the reference of healthy
like look at
work-life
is
balance?
he talking about video games?
Oh, see, maybe you don't. Maybe you just say...
I don't care. No, I said I'm not going to not give him credit. I'm going to say this is an entity worth $5 billion over. Halo's worth over $5 billion. If that's good enough for them, it's good enough for Aurora Public Schools. I'm sorry. And if you can't get on board with that, I'm like, come on, people. I get it. And I'm not going to not be myself.
No, and I agree with you, Chance. And you know what? I completely agree. Props to you. You're right. It'd be like, if they don't want to hire you because you like Halo and you like to talk about a video game lead, yeah, screw them. Screw those caca-heads.
It was just a lot of.
I wouldn't want to work for them if they're going to not take this. See, this is the kind of what's the word I'm looking for, Jose? The stigma around video gamers. Like when we were younger, like we're just Wait, I hated that. Like it wasn't cool to be nerd. You know.
That's why I'm so glad that this came up right now because I literally thank you, Joseph Staten. I still to this day talk about Priority 0 and Shannon and Liz and Eric and Lana each every once in a while they're like, no Priority 0 going on around here, and I'm like, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a thing that we talk about, and I love it.
Proud to be a gamer, Chance. I would have never worn an Xbox shirt back in the day when I was in middle high school because I would I wear all my Xbox stuff with pride and I freaking love it. Shout out Joseph Staten. We are who we are. As we continue to improve and ramp up, please understand that all of us at 343 are fully committed to making Halo Infinite the best Halo experience ever. Indeed, the primary reason that we're extending Season 2 is to give us time before shipping another season to fully address quality of life improvements based on what we've learned from Season 1, as well as other data that we've collected. Quality of life is shorthand for bug fixes, new features, and content addressing issues that negatively impact your experience. We'll be delivering these as part of season releases and separate updates throughout the season. Our player-facing term for quality of life updates that land during seasons is drop pods. And much like their ODST namesakes, these release vehicles are meant to drop in hot just as soon as they're ready. Our target is to drop pod every month, and you can expect drop pods to vary in scope and size. We'll have more to share about what's going into Season 2's drop pods as soon as possible in Season 2 launch. I hope that means maps, Joseph. Speaking of which, Season 2 is now less than 2 weeks away on May 3rd. If you haven't already seen them, blah, 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 here's some stuff to whet your appetite. And there's a picture of some pretty sweet armor. That green one, boys, that electric volt. I'm going to buy that if that's in the store because, I'm a simp for that. We'll have a lot more to share about Season 2, including a deep dive into its Battle Pass, rewards, events, and including a brand new multiplayer narrative events. Maybe a return of that Spartan leader that we saw at the beginning of the training session. that place your personal Spartan in the center of an evolving seasonal storyline, game modes, and much more during a community live stream next on Wednesday, you guys, at 1 p.m. Pacific on Twitch and YouTube. In summary, we are committed to delivering more content faster. We will accelerate while prioritizing team health, priority 0, and you can expect improvements during drop pods. On behalf of the entire Halo Infinite team, thank you for your passion and patience as we embark on the road ahead. We're fired up to deliver what's already on the roadmap, as well as deliver other content experiences that we are not ready to reveal just yet, but we can't wait for you to play. Guys, I wanted to read that because, like Chance said, yes, we need to give a shout out to Joseph, and it is important to have priority 0. And we are a bunch of whiners. We just want more to play. I'm whining right now. Having said all that, is 2 maps realistically going to be enough to keep us engaged for the next 6 months? Is that acceptable? Chipotle Bear, let me hear your thoughts on what was said by Joseph and what you're seeing in the content.
2 things here.
roadmap.
So is it acceptable? Probably not. But is that what he's actually saying? I don't think so. I know that's what we're getting on May 3rd, as in like a week from now, basically, we're going to get 2 maps. I think what he's talking about, the drop pods, is there could be the chance for more maps and quality of life improvements, including Heat Forge. We skipped that whole paragraph in the letter, but they talk about they're trying to get Forge up and running because that'll really create
Faster,
variety and stuff, which I totally agree with. A couple just quick thoughts I wanted to mention. One other quick just thing for any Halo fans out there: the Tenrai event. If you like that sweet Tenrai armor, the last week begins this week. So if you need to finish out to get to level 30 to get the like antlers, right, that they had, make sure you do that this week. It starts on Tuesday, I think. But other than that, I just think it's great, man. I love that they're being communicative about what they're doing. I like that they're being very forward-facing. And here's the thing. I know the complainers. I know the haters are going to say, November, I'm going to get bored again. This isn't going to keep us entertained. What is 343 doing? Here's the truth. I actually am pumped that it's November because what I learned from season 1 is that I got so worried about completing my battle pass on time that all I played was Halo. That's all I did every night. And it was great. I'm not hating on it. I'm excited to be back with the gang, Nico, Snelling, Pack, everybody. Like I really am. But I actually like the idea that now I wouldn't feel as bad if I said, look, on Friday nights, we're going to play Halo with the boys. And then Saturday, I get to devote to Turnip. I get to devote to Bugsnax. I get to devote to Cyberpunk because I'm not as worried about leveling up so quickly because I'm going to have plenty of time to do it. And I know also that the Game Passes extend beyond. So even if you have Game Pass from season 1, you can keep playing it into season 2. But I also would like to keep up with this. I do like playing Halo, right? Like it's fun to me. So I'm not upset at all, man. I love that he's being consistent with the priority 0. He's not changing his tune on that. I think they're doing a great thing, man. And I know that it's probably not coming out as fast as we want. But here's the other, I think just like chef's kiss of this is, guess what else comes out in November as I'm going to be finishing that battle pass? That would be 1 Starfield. So I'm not super worried about that, right? In terms of having stuff to do. So those are my quick thoughts, man.
Oof, I forgot about sorry. BubbleBoy, I had a really good question for you, but let me think about it. So are you going to jump back in with us? Is 2 maps
absolutely.
Is 2 maps acceptable in your eyes?
It is. It is to me because, again, I have really, really latched onto the idea of priority 0, and I've been preaching it at my own job. And I think if they were like, we're going to have 17 maps, but we're getting rid of priority 0, I'd be like, yeah, no, I lose respect for you. I'll still probably play it, but I lose respect for you.
I was just going to say, Chance, think of it this way too, guys. Everybody's complaining about Halo, but we're getting new content and it's been running well and we've had little things throughout it. What has Battlefield 2042 done since almost the exact same launch?
Fatality.
I thought you were going to do the crickets.
That was perfect. Yeah, no,
But
that was
like,
perfect.
why? Where are the people freaking out about Battlefield? What has that game done?
I think they just gave up. They're just like,
No, they
yeah,
just did that release, right? You and Miggy were talking about it, right?
the scoreboard and
Yeah, the scoreboard
what
and
was
the
it?
end of round stats or something, right?
Summary or something.
Yeah, it's
No,
atrocious,
I'm
man.
not going to complain. Again, I did spend money on it, but it was $25 I think I spent on like the credits so I could get a couple of skins that I liked. I'm never going to complain about a free game not having enough content. I'm sorry.
It's free to play, and I think a lot of people feel like just because it's free to play, like it should be perfected like Destiny is. Destiny took years. Fortnite has taken years as well. and they've
Destiny wasn't free.
true. I mean, if, you're right, and good point. And so these things just take time, and I guess 6 months isn't enough. But to be fair, at the core, Halo Infinite is really, really good. And hopefully, Jose, you mentioned the Forge thing. That could potentially give a lot of maps too, because if there's some fan favorites that are created, hopefully they can figure out a way to be like maybe in one of the playlists is like Forge created fan favorites and stuff like that. Yeah, Chance.
I know what question I had for you guys. I had like a 24 gig download for the Master Chief Collection. What was that all about? Do you know?
We kind of mentioned it last week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
there's new Flood, there's new Forge stuff, and also you can do co-op, cross-platform.
Cross-platform,
co-op now.
that's
So
what it was,
yeah. It's a big update. Yeah. And that's still a great game that I will play too. But I just love the movement in Halo Infinite. So shout out 343. We are behind you. We still believe in you. We're still gonna play it. And like Jose said it, we can just play it occasionally. We don't have to feel rushed. And I have plenty of games to play. Like it's ridiculous. So moving on. A little bit concerning though, Jose, tying into this next one, and I just want to quickly go over this. I kind of wanted to skip it, but it ties in along well with what you said. November, yes, 11/11/2022. We are also getting Starfield, but also what else comes out in November, Jose?
The first day of the rest of our lives.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And who put this in here? Who put this in the Jose? Was that
I was
you?
the one that put it in there.
You
but
put
I
it
didn't,
in here, and you didn't even know what I was talking about there. So tell me why you wanted to talk about it.
Well, I brought it up. I think for the reason you're hinting, and I didn't know it was released in November. That's the piece I didn't know. Was that so recently? Just this is coming from VGC, by the way. That from Andy Robinson. That all the social media for Infinity Ward went dark this week, and so it was like a big to do on the internet. Like, oh God, what's going on? Except that when you actually looked at one of the images and you enhanced it in Photoshop, you can actually see what appears to be a silhouette of Ghost, which is one of the most favorite characters from Modern Warfare. He originally appeared in Modern Warfare 2. And so there's just it seems like that's going to be the next sequel that they're putting out, like a revamped version of it. As they reached out to Activision, they said that they did confirm that the sequel would be coming out this year. They talked about that it's going to have a grittier take, quote unquote, on the Modern Warfare 2019 campaign with close quarters combat, tricky decision making, and the classic Call of Duty set piece moments that fans have come to expect. And so they were talking about how, as along with Verdansk and how they added that new map Caldera, that they're still working on this. And honestly, the reason I wanted to put it in here is because in addition to Halo and obviously the other games I want to play indies and stuff, I would actually might jump back into Modern Warfare. I genuinely did have fun playing that too with you guys. I don't know if I'd play by myself. I don't care that much about the campaign, but in terms of the multiplayer, I genuinely had fun. And so I might pick that up this summer as well too.
No, so that's my concern Jose, is that when Halo's new season is launching, it's going to be going right up against the new Call of Duty. And I feel like this is going to be a huge Call of Duty year. Last year, not many people liked Vanguard. I loved the Call of Duty Modern Warfare remake, and I believe Chance and I both got 1,000 out of 1,000 on it. It was fantastic. It brought to us the modern weaponry that everybody loves. This game, I feel like, is going to be huge. And they're going to also launch the new Battle Royale, the next 2.0 version of that. So this game is going to be huge in the fall. And I don't think that's good for Halo Infinite to be paired up against that in November with their new content drop. So I'm a little concerned. But Chance, are you going to buy this game? Because I know I'm going to. I loved Modern Warfare, their remake that they did, and it's my favorite of all of the Call of Duties. Obviously, it's the Modern Warfare.
Yeah, I think for sure. I think they've earned it. I haven't bought the last two. Didn't feel compelled to, but knowing that this is a kind of the next step from Modern Warfare, which was so incredible, yeah, most likely. I'd be surprised if I wasn't, but then again, so much else coming out at that time.
Yeah, you're right. We don't know what else is coming out in that holiday time. But also, Chance, here's the beauty of it. If everything goes through, you won't have to buy Call of Duty again because it'll be in your Game Pass subscription.
Well, yeah, right. Well, and that was the other thing. Vanguard and even Black Ops Cold War during this last spring sale, they were still $40. like 35, $40. I'm like, come on.
Just wait,
That
they'll
one
be in
game's
Game
almost
Pass.
2 years old. I get it, but like, come on,
I know.
guys.
You
Those
still like to
games
play the
are they
campaigns.
even any good? I don't know.
I'm sure we like the campaigns. Most people are down on them, but I
do.
like them. I
I
think
do.
they're good quality. They're always good
do.
quality. Jose, any
I
closing
also
thoughts
think,
on?
Dan, I mean, I think to your point of like the competition, yeah, I mean, maybe Modern Warfare will outshine Halo, but again, it's not the same as like outshining Halo Infinity. That already came out, right? We're talking now about the perpetual like online component of Halo, and it's going to have years that it's more popular than others. Like that's how this is going to be. That's literally
Yeah,
what happened to
that's
Modern
true.
Warfare this year. So
Yeah.
I'm not super worried. And I don't think it's necessarily competing. I think just like I'll probably play both. I'll probably play one more than the other, and it's probably going to honestly depend on what my friend group is playing.
fine.
But I think it's fine, man. I'm not super worried.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. We don't know if that new rumored Project Tatanka, the Halo Infinite separate battle royale mode might come out then. So we don't know what's going to happen. It's an
Well, no,
exciting time.
they said that was in the thing we just read.
No,
That was
no,
the
no,
third
no,
mode
no,
they
this
mentioned.
is no, Jose. Mute yourself. No, Jose, we're talking about a totally different thing that Certain Affinity is working on. We mentioned this before. Fired. Somebody get that fired. You fired. Get that, Jose, on you fired. Get that on
I'll
your,
work on that for next
soundboard
time
there.
so I can fire
Let's
myself.
move on to the next one. This is BubbleBoy's favorite company. Report of private equity is eyeing Ubisoft as the next big gaming acquisition. Private equity firms could be beginning to circle over Ubisoft, Bloomberg reported. Talks are early, but interesting from firms like Blackstone Inc. and KKR and Co. Even if it's not private equity, senior, current, and former Ubisoft developers Kotaku has spoken to in recent months believe the company will eventually sell to someone amid a flagging stock price and ongoing production struggles. Bloomberg reports that Blackstone and KKR are the biggest equity firms in the world. Two of the biggest equity firms in the world have been studying the French business and have preliminary takeover interest in Ubisoft, but that the company hasn't yet entered into any serious negotiations with potential acquirers. If someone did want to buy Ubisoft, they would potentially be getting it at a huge discount. The stock was at over $110 a share in July 2018. Now it's at $41. But they would still need to go through the Guillemot family, which is essentially estimated to be own 15% at just under $5 billion market cap business. I'm assuming that BubbleBoy put this article in because he loves Kotaku, and I think Kotaku is caca. BubbleBoy, tell us why. Oh no,
It was Chapeau.
Well, okay, then the Ubisoft connection. Chance, do you care if somebody buys Ubisoft, or are you like me at this point? I don't know if I'm as big.
Somebody's gonna buy somebody else. Always. That's just like the new world we live in. There's just gonna be another business daddy and another business daddy. And what was the movie where? Or no, it was the game we played. That kind of top-down, 3/4 angle. The Ascent, right? Where there's just one corporation in the world,
corporation.
right? Like we're
Corpos,
gonna
yeah.
get there. It's
Great game, by the way.
right?
I look forward to a sequel. I have to say on the Ubisoft, I don't know if I'm as big of a fan as I used to be, Chance. And even if like let's say Sony somehow bought them, which I don't think they are, and it was exclusive, I don't know if I'd necessarily be like, if I'd miss out on much. Jose, why did you bring this up, and why do you want to talk about those dang dirty French bastards over at Ubisoft? I'm just kidding, Ubisoft. I'm just kidding.
So real quick, just to clarify too, this report was from Kotaku, from Ethan Gotch over there. But it was actually because I know we've talked a lot about acquisition, and part of it was also I wanted to give a quick shout out to Mr. Badbit himself, Joseph Moran, because when we talked to him a couple episodes ago, he hinted that he thought Ubisoft would be the next big corporation purchase. So just shout out to him having kind of that foresight. But I put it in here because what I thought was unique, other than just the fact that it's another company getting purchased, was it's not getting purchased by a gaming company. Right? Like where we talk about like Activision Blizzard from Xbox, that's a gaming company. We talk about Bungie from Sony, gaming company. These are just private equity firms, which tells me two things. It means they're probably buying it as an investment to resell it. They're not buying it because they have a vested interest in like improving the games that Ubisoft puts out to change the structure of the organization. They probably don't care that much other than they want to make sure they're making money. But it also just, I thought that was an interesting wild card to have happen in this whole story, that like, we're now beyond gaming corporations buying video game companies. We just have people buying them. right? It's becoming an investment thing. And while it does give legitimacy to this industry, which is nice, it's also a little bizarre, right? Because what if this company buys it and then kind of sets it on the shelf, forgets about it, whatever, and then it just dies out? And yes, Ubisoft has not been our favorite corporation over the last 5 years, but that doesn't mean they're dead in the water. It doesn't mean they don't have still good ideas or people that are working hard. And it would be kind of a bummer if they just got left behind because of that. So I just think it's an interesting thing to follow, a lot like we're following some of the other stuff in the gaming industry. I just wanted to keep fans updated if they're not following it. So Chance, what do you think?
Well, it's funny you bring up the idea that they're just getting it to resell it. I think they might be getting it to like resell. We've seen the massive trend in video game movies and series coming out, right? And you're like, maybe they're just trying to sell each little piece off like that. But then you read everything that just happened with Netflix, and it's like, well, maybe they're not going that way then. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
And I also want to say, speaking of Netflix, tying back into my episode 0, the monologue, the famous DaddyDWALLY monologue, I believe it was titled, or one of the first episodes was, is Game Pass going to be the next Netflix for better or worse? And the worse is exactly what I've been talking about, guys. The problem with Netflix now is that they had all this awesome content from other people. And now they don't have that anymore because they all broke off and took that content back, took it back to Disney, took it back to Hulu, took it to Paramount, took it to Peacock, took it to HBO, blah, et cetera, et cetera. And now their original content isn't as good as it used to be. But shout out to Squid Games. I have Netflix still only because, shout out, T-Mobile pays for my subscription and I pay like $2 or something like that. So I will keep it. But I understand, this was my concern, is that if you don't have that content, people aren't going to subscribe to it and it's going to be gone. Same applies to Game Pass. As soon as Game Pass doesn't offer awesome games, people are going to leave. Shout out to Paris Lilly. He was also mentioning this on the Kind of Funny Xcast. He was saying as soon as Game Pass loses, or if it doesn't produce that quarter by quarter games with all these studios, people will leave because they don't see the value in it. My concern is that they weren't going to have that value, but Microsoft went out and bought Bethesda, huge purchase, buying Activision, huge purchase. Now they own a bunch of studios that should contribute to this content. So I don't think they're headed the same route that Netflix is. Now I'm feeling like, hey, we're more like a Disney or an HBO Max. Hopefully they can keep it together.
Well, and
go ahead.
I agree with you, but there's one key difference there, though.
And they also mentioned, one more key difference, and I'll beat you to it. They both said, that's not the only source of income for Microsoft, right? Is that what you're going to say? People still buy games. You don't need to be subscribed to Game Pass to make money. People still buy games. So Microsoft still makes money on you, whether you're subscribed to Game Pass or buying it. So go ahead. What was
that's a great point. But the difference, though, between Netflix and any gaming thing, whether it's Game Pass or Play Pass or whatever it is that watching movies can be done on virtually any device. It can be done on a cheap iPhone. It can be done on your computer. It can be done on your TV, right?
So can gaming.
Gaming is a little bit different. Now, it's changing, right? If we truly go to this cloud system, it could get there. But the difference that Sony has and Microsoft has is that for really those AAA titles, at least it's not the indie ones, I guess, you need the hardware, right? And so that's the difference in that people can't just go somewhere else to get that content necessarily. Now, again, maybe that will change in the future. Maybe we just get to this future where we're all just computer-based.
Can't you stream Flight Simulator? That's...
Yeah, but have you done that? I haven't, because why? That sounds like a terrible idea.
Well, because we have the direct hardware right here. We're fortunate enough to have an Xbox Series S and Series S next to us, so we're just going to play it natively.
Actually, you know what? Any of our fans out there, if you don't have a Series S or X and you want to, I want to hear what this experience of that is. I genuinely would like to. What is it like
Chance has done some cloud gaming. It's not bad. You can't play like freaking Halo. Well, to be fair, actually, shout out to Brian.
Yeah, Brian
Pack,
did.
Alan's
Brian
brother.
played it on his
He
Samsung
played Halo
tablet,
Infinite.
right?
He was doing fine. So, I mean, that's impressive.
Anyway, that's all I say.
I tried Horizon 5 quite a bit on my iPad, and it was cool to be able to try it. It wasn't something I would invest in.
It's another fast, quick-moving game. Let's move on to the next story, guys. The Quarry gameplay footage is very scary. New screenshots released. This is coming from Eddie McCock over at GameSpot. Guys, I'm whoever put this here, I'm not going to talk about this because I've realized I can't do these narrative games anymore. If I want to watch a movie, I'm gonna watch a movie. I don't want to watch a cutscene for 15 minutes and then interact. Press X really fast. Oh, circle your right thumbstick. Press A. Like I'm over it, you guys. After we'll talk about what we're playing. My Ghost of Tsushima nightmare here. I'm done with the narrative stuff. If I want to watch a movie, I'll watch a movie. I don't want to watch video games anymore. I want to play. We play games to have fun. Until Dawn, not a good game. BubbleBoy, do you have any thoughts on the Quarry? Who put this in?
This was me again.
Jose did.
Oh,
Jose
my
put all of
gosh.
them.
I put all of these
Chance,
in
I thought
today.
you were in charge of news. All right, Jose.
No,
Okay.
so see, you didn't read your text because Jose said.
No,
he'll
I saw
take
you.
care of
Yeah,
it.
I saw you say that, but I was like, I didn't know you were going to literally let him do everything. I
Okay.
thought you were
Okay.
maybe
So the reason I
contribute
put this in here
something,
was
so.
because, so just a couple of quick things. One, I mean, as the resident like huge horror fan, this looks like a pretty cool horror game. And yes, Dan is absolutely right. It is a walking simulator. It's a
horror
narrative game.
movie.
It's a movie. But in that sense, I just thought it was an interesting evolution of this because it's not just another horror game. I mean, it is the typical like young teenagers at this like camp location. They get cut off from the world. Like that they're following that trope pretty well. But what's
Not
cool about it
typical.
is that it's actually real actors. So like if you actually look at the cast of this and the game and the characters, like David Arquette is the cop in it, and it's like his face in the game, and it just again it doesn't look amazing. Like even I, as a fan, looked at it and some of the trailers, I was kind of like, that looks a little bit janky, but I think it's a cool progression that we're seeing again to bring legitimacy to the industry in a difference. I just thought it was a cool thing, and I like that it's in addition to the, I'm sure the cutscenes where it's like press X really fast. They talk about one of the unique things they're trying to do is that you have to make a choice in the moment and you have limited time. So it's not just X or you die and you restart and the next time, okay, I got to press X, here it comes again.
Jose,
like in
I
God
got,
of War.
you're just digging yourself deeper. I got to interrupt you right here. Chance, tell Jose here about the famous PlayStation 4 game that came out from these people. That is a horror game that clearly he
Until
missed
Dawn?
out on. Until Dawn, Jose, is literally everything you're explaining.
I never played
outside.
Until Dawn.
I know, and I just feel so bad because it has real actors. It has these quick time events where they're like everything you said. This is how they make their games, and even Man of
But hold on.
Medan and
'Cause
has
here's
Sean
where all-
Ashmore.
You're
I'm
right, but here's all
I'm
backup
just trying to say, Jose, go play Until Dawn, and actually don't because actually you would like it
No,
more because
don't.
he's a horror player. Why not? He can play that backwards compatibility. On
I'm
PS5.
gonna wait till this comes out.
because
and
he
play
doesn't
this.
have a PS5.
He can play it on PS4.
The Quarry looked. Hopefully, it's better. I didn't. I really wanted to like Until Dawn. I really did, and I will try the Quarry if it's free. And I just like. I don't mind. Why is this so like?
Because you're like, I will play it if it's better than Until Dawn, or if it's free.
No, I didn't say if it's
What was Dan's
better. I
favorite
said
movie?
it looks
Vanilla Sky.
better.
That makes no sense.
One of the
Vanilla
greatest
Sky,
of our
yeah.
generation.
Yeah, and talk to me about the Whopper, and then laugh at our tastes.
Anyway,
No,
I just thought it was cool, man.
No, and that's fine, Jose. And for you, you're right. This will be new to you. But I'm saying there's something like this. And actually, Jose, you can play the Man of Medan. All those, what are those games, Chance? The anthology.
Dark Pictures. Yeah.
Jose, go Google those. You might want to check those out because those you can play, and they are guaranteed are going to be very similar.
They're on
to
sale
this.
right now.
There you go.
That
Jose would love those.
on Halloween thing. Did
But
you
I-
see that?
Oh, I'll have to check. I did see that. I'll
Check
have
it
to
out,
check that out.
Jose. You need to, that will give you a good taste of what Until Dawn is. Look up the reviews. Either the first or the third one are the highest rated. Go look up the Dark Pictures anthology. Okay, Chance. I did want to ask you: are you still big on these walking simulator narrative driven games, or are you over it like me? Because also I noticed you didn't finish Beyond that Detroit Become Human, or did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did finish it. Oh, okay.
I didn't platinum it like I
but-
thought I was going to, but
That's something.
I am. They don't bother me. I like a relaxing, like kind of sit back. I can play on the couch, kind of game. It was who was it the other day? It was Gluns at school. You remember Chris Gluns, right? Social studies teacher at Gateway. He was saying he was like, "Oh, it's nice because he finally beat Elden Ring." He's like, "It's nice to be able to drink and play games again." He's like, I refuse to." He's like, "You couldn't have a beer
Yep,
and then
I
go play
agree.
Elden Ring." He's like, what if you miss something?" It's like, so those games are fun to be able to. You can just do whatever, and you don't have to
Yeah.
be hyper focused like you do in
I
Elden Ring.
guess I would just turn to like Super Lucky's Tale or something more laid back and gameplay focused. Yeah, I guess that's just where we're different. I would, for me,
And they
guys,
looked gorgeous.
I'll just yeah, they look good, but I'd rather just if I'm gonna watch something, I could just watch the YouTube playthrough. Jose, go play those games. Tell me what
Says
you
the guy
think.
who still hasn't seen the Batman.
Because I wanted to see it in the theater. Okay, Chance. Moving on. Last picture. Activision Blizzard is doubling the number of women on its board. The California law had required the company to appoint another female director, and this is coming from Tom Ivan over at Video Games Chronicle. Lulu Cheng Mesveri has been elected to join the board, while Carrie Carr will be nominated for election to the board at the company's annual meeting of stockholders. Activision Blizzard's board previously had consisted of 8 men and 2 women, half of which has been together for nearly 2 decades, according to Bloomberg. Messerve's appointment to the board means Activision Blizzard finally complies with a California law which required it to add another female director by the end of 2021. Activision Blizzard board has faced criticism for its ongoing support of CEO Bobby Kotick, who has survived widespread calls for his resignation as the company battles a number of sexual misconduct and harassment lawsuits. The company is currently trying to clean up its image ahead of its plans to merge with Microsoft in a $68.7 billion deal. Jose, talk to me about this Activision appointment. By the way, let's get a little temperature check here. Is this deal going through? Because if it is,
Oh yeah.
should I put $20,000 into Activision Blizzard right now? What is it stocked, and see if I can make some money? Jose, talk to me about this appointment.
Hold
First-
on, you
first of
have
all-
$20,000?
I have. We have. Allie has some in an IRA.
First off, no, don't do that. Let me just straight
Why
up
not?
do not do
What
that.
if it goes through?
What if it doesn't?
It's an IRA that's just.
Look, dude, stick with
then
the
I
traditional
have
Roth IRA
$20,000
and get the
worth.
taxes taken out and enjoy when you retire. Just do a Roth IRA. Don't do this.
Okay,
That's a stupid idea. Anyway, second,
Well-
I just want to throw this in the quick news. Just we told our fans that we would keep up with this whole ordeal. We don't want to just forget like this whole thing with Kotick. Obviously, it's going to come back around when the deal starts going through with Microsoft. I do think it's cool they're doing it. I don't think they're doing it for any other reason other than they were forced to by a court. Like I don't think they just had this epiphany. It's getting better.
Exactly.
I guess
saw the headline and I was like, "Oh, they did." But, nope. Dan said it's a law. Okay.
But it is. I mean, at least it is happening, right? I also a little bit later in the thing we didn't say it in the article. They said they also did hire a new female, Kristen Hines, as the new chief diversity, equity, and inclusion officer. I'm assuming they probably didn't have an diversity, equity, inclusion office prior. So at least it's good that they're adding that. And again, I think this is really just for the merger. I'm not trying to give them a bunch of credit where it's not necessarily due. But at least it is moving forward, right? So, trying to defend our boys at Microsoft, the hope is that I think by the time they do actually acquire, that all goes through. Hopefully, we start to change that around culturally. I just wanted to keep it in the news so that people were aware. I don't have a lot to say other than that.
Okay, so Jose, you're saying it's not worth it for me to do that and only make $3,000. You really got to put quite a bit more money in there because the stock price right now is $78 a share. If this deal goes through, brings it up automatically to $90 a share. That is the sale price, Jose, if I am understanding this correctly. So should I put my life savings? Should I sell how about this? Sell the expedition. Use that potential money, $40K right there, put it into Activision Blizzard and make some serious money. So Jose, go ahead. Well, I'll do the math while you're talking.
No, I was done. You wanted to come back to me. I'm just saying in terms of investing, like if you want to make lots of money, you don't invest in established companies. You take risks on small companies, but I wouldn't do that with your life savings or with your wife's IRA.
That would only be $6,000.
Yeah. You're better off just being safe and taking like a 3% gain over X amount of years. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
Okay. Sorry. That has been the news for the week, you guys. If you want us to cover a certain news topic, please send us an email at xboxrecordthis@gmail.com. calm, guys. Let's go into what we have been playing. And man, I'll go first because I'll be quick. Guys, I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima. And this game, I don't know. I'm sorry. I am not high in this game. I don't know why it got all of this praise. My biggest complaints: follow. Every mission, you are following someone. And then after you follow, you are gathering or you are investigating. And then follow footsteps to this or gather this. It is a slog. I think if I had just played this main mission campaign through, I would have enjoyed it more. Because buried underneath all this caca is a fun combat game. But Chance, the fact that you can't skip even the smallest cutscenes of you just doing these stupid side missions, which are follow, gather, investigate, follow again. I'm sorry. That is a huge negative. And that's partially on me because, of course, I've gotten so far. I'm like, I might as well get the platinum. If I had known that it was going to be this much follow and gather and investigate.
How many times has he broken that resolution this year, Jose?
I didn't know.
He's not going to care about trophies.
Here's the thing. Like, I thought it was going to be an easy platinum. I'm like, oh, this looks easy. Then I look up my biggest mistake. This is a 50 to 60 hour platinum. This is going to take longer for me to platinum than Elden Ring, you guys. I know. I put in 38 hours. I did it in 38 hours in Elden Ring.
No, you did not.
Well, look at my stats.
Not the first time, though. Not the first time.
No,
though.
not the first time. On Xbox, I did 100 hours. I was doing
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying for
That's
my
what Chance is
platinum
arguing.
chance, I did it in 38 hours. I can show you. Yeah, I know. I was baller. And I was like a level 1, almost 60. So I have to say, Chance, I buried under this is a cool character, a decent story. But I feel like, Chance, some of the stuff that Assassin's Creed does, it does better. And at least it doesn't. You can at least skip and pick and choose, you know?
I don't remember the not skipping cutscenes thing.
Oh, my God. Well,
I
don't
remember
then like you said, it is Assassin's Creed Japan, and that's great. And you're absolutely right. It really is that. Like you've got to grapple. You're climbing like assassins. You do stealth stuff. The combat, I feel like the combat is really cool. I like it. It's cool little quick parries, slowing down time with bow and arrow. But guys, the side stuff, it's just too much, and not being able to skip stuff, that's a big negative in my opinion. So I'm actually surprised, Chance. As good as I heard Ghost of Tsushima is, I feel like Assassin's Creed does some things better, and I'm shocked to say that. Like, we don't give Assassin's Creed enough credit sometimes when it's due. So, BubbleBoy, what have you been playing?
I haven't. Cora's been playing Lego Star Wars. This is like the first week I think we've ever done this, and I'm like, I don't think I have. It's literally been that kind of a week, man. I think I helped Cora play Lego Star Wars a little bit, but
well, get better.
It's been rough. I know. I'm sorry, but I did watch the Batman. It was fantastic.
Oh, well, I know. I need to watch it. Jose, before you tell us what you've been playing, because I know you wrote a note specifically. Oh, another thing. Sorry, Bacon. Bacon's like, oh, it's not a collectathon. This is not a Ubisoft map game. Dude, icons everywhere. Gather, investigate, follow. Sorry. Chipotle Bear. You didn't tell us. Did you ever end up beating Weird West? Do I need to play it? Because I wanted to play that. Oh, no. Here we go.
No.
Thoughts on, are you going to finish it?
So I am going to try to finish it. The last time I left the listeners, I had just finished the first story. There's 5 stories in the game. And I realized in my first story that I did all the extra side stuff, and I am not like these achievement whores over here. I do not care about getting the platinum or the 1,000 out of 1,000. And so I'm going to start speeding up because I want to get to some other games like that Turnip one. But it is cool. I do recommend a playthrough. It is basically that 3/4 side scroller twin stick shooter. Like that's really what it is. But it's a cool story, and I like the fantastical nature of it. So I'm gonna try to finish it.
Okay.
The reason I haven't played it is because I left on our trip. Like literally the last time I left the next morning,
right before it.
and I got back Tuesday, and it's been work and stuff, so I haven't been playing. But
Let's hear about your adventures.
So
Jose.
I wasn't going to have anything to talk about with gaming because I haven't been able to play this week because of prom and stuff like that. But as luck would have it, one of my fantastic teachers and friends at Bear Creek, his name is Ross Doty. He's a science teacher. Yesterday on Friday, we didn't have kids in the building. We had a school day, but it was like a work day. He sent out a message to our staff saying, "Hey, if you want to just blow off some steam after a crazy week, I'm going to bring 2 Oculus Quest 2s into like, or MetaQuest 2s, whatever you want to call them, to our library. If you want to just come play." And I was really busy with prom and like I almost didn't go, and I was like, no, I really should go. Like I wanted to just check this thing out. I'm not going to probably spend the 200, 400 bucks, whatever it is. And so and it was pretty dope, dude. Like I don't think I'm going to buy one. I'm just not there yet in my life. And I really still do enjoy sitting on my couch, and you just can't do that in that world. But I have to give it to them, man. Like once you're in there and you've oriented yourself and stuff, it does feel very natural, and it's crazy responsive. And I basically just did the tutorial, which teaches you how to like pick stuff up, and like the way the controller is designed, you can like use just your fingers or you can use your whole hand and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. And then I did one round of Beat Saber, which is like that lightsaber game. I did a Kendrick Lamar song, and it was pretty dope. Like, I mean, I was having a good time and enjoying it. And then I saw the video of me doing it, and I was like, God, I look like a freaking chum.
That's what I was gonna ask. Did anybody video you? Can we see that video?
Yeah, I'll send you guys that video because he sent it to me so I could. I'm gonna make a tweet for our social media accounts and stuff at school. But it was cool, man. I got to give it up to him. I do understand the appeal of what it is, and that Metaverse or MetaQuest just did their like showcase this week, and I watched a couple of those trailers, and like I got to give it to him. Moss 2 does look dope. I mean the Resident Evil 4 VR version, I would totally check that out if I had an Oculus Quest. And again, I don't think I'm going to buy one anytime soon, but I was a pretty significant hater of VR until recently, and I got to give it to him. It was pretty dope. So if you're at all interested, it's cool, man. Check it out.
You were impressed. That's good to hear. So completely wireless, correct?
Yeah, his was I mean, it was all self-contained when I did it. He had 2, like I said, and one of them was connected to like our big projector in the library. So like if I had been doing that when people could have seen what I was doing in the game, which is really cool that they have that feature, but that had to be wired in. I was on the separate one on the side, completely wireless, and it was cool, man. It was really cool. So I do suggest it, and again, shout out to Ross Doty for bringing that into our school and letting some of our staff play it. It was cool.
Shout out to our favorite console, the Meta Oculus 2. Let's move in. Guys, we can go over this quickly, and I just wanted to pose this question, and it could just be a quick answer for the good old days. And this was inspired to me. Shout out to Joseph and he had a guest on. It was Dax. I believe his name was Dax from the NXS podcast. Mm-hmm. They were talking about who would be the better, or who is the better adventurer, Lara Croft or Nathan Drake, and why? And I just wanted to pose this question to you guys. Who do you think in real life would be the better adventurer? And if you don't mind, I would like to go first if you'd like to hear who. Do you know who do you think my answer is there, BubbleBoy?
I think you're going to pick Drake.
No, I think Lara Croft would actually be the better.
It's actually pronounced Lara.
Didn't I say Lara Croft? Better adventurer, because I feel like in the reboot, she's a stone cold killer, and she scares me, and she is lethal, and she has been through some stuff, especially in the reboot, and I just feel like she just doesn't give a crap, and she's got a lot of skills. She's got the hunting skills. She's got that Lara sense. She's got weapon skills, way better climbing skills.
Nunchuck skills.
I feel like I feel like there's
skills.
I feel like there's some backstory to her actually becoming an adventurer, whereas Nathan, it's like you just seem like this cool dude who has some jokes, and somehow you're a treasure hunter. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I love.
You didn't play Uncharted 3 then?
Was there really any, like, you never really see him
She was
doing
an
any
orphan.
kinda-
That's what you learned.
The orphanage.
Okay,
And then you went to prison.
knowing how to steal. I'm talking about these other skills. I feel like if Lara was left out on a cold mountain like she has been, she would survive. Nate, I'm sorry, I don't think he's surviving out there in the wild. BubbleBoy, what do you think?
I'm going old school Lara Croft, I think. Because I love the backstory that actually she has the same backstory in the reboot, right? Like the British daddy with all the money. Yeah, I don't know. That's impossible choice, man. That's like a real Sophie's choice there. I don't know that you could pick between the two.
Really? You don't think like Lara's she's a killer?
Oh, I thought
Like,
you were going to
feel
pick
like
Lara
she's-
hands down. Like, I didn't think it was a question.
Well, I know.
Me?
Yeah. Yeah. What
Yeah.
do you see in Nate? Like, I love Nate Drake, but like, what is he? He seems like a goofball who has
just
some
think-
athleticism. Like, I don't get.
that game. So the first Uncharted game was so groundbreaking, or like not groundbreaking, like it set the stage for so many other games moving forward. I felt like, and
Yeah, but we're not talking about the
that
game. We're
was-
talking like if these people
But
were
this is
in
the
real life.
character. The
Yeah,
character.
the character. Who's the better? Who's going to be the? Who do you want to survive?
Nathan Drake's hilarious. I like that.
Gosh, you're disappointing me. You're the Lara Croft fan. Chipotle Bear, what about you? Who do you think would be the better adventure?
The correct
character-wise
answer
in
is
a real
Lara.
setting.
Hands down. Like, I didn't even have to think about this. And I have played all the games too. Like, it's not like I've only played the Tomb Raider ones and not Uncharted. She's the original, right? Like, literally going back to what, PlayStation, like PS1. So when she has the history there, I think she has the actual academic prowess. Like, she's actually researched these things. Like, yeah, Drake knows about the treasure. He doesn't know the history. He doesn't know, like, he can't talk to you about civilizations
he knows
as
a little
much
bit.
as much as
He
she
knows
can.
quite a bit somehow, unexplained, but
But
maybe
I mean,
Sully.
she
Go,
also
keep
has the better. Like, I love Sully, I do, and I love Nathan too. I'm not hating on them. I think the Lara and her butler are a cooler team. Like, I like the reboot. Also, like you said, it created the grittier version of Lara. I just think she's the better adventurer. Like, she did all of this first, and I like that she also is fighting a global, like, anti-corporation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it started from just this, like, I'm trying to beat other people to a treasure, to, like, I'm basically fighting the whole Illuminati of, like, the New World Order. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think she's a better adventurer.
Yeah.
Like, I'll play both games. Again, it's not like
Yeah.
I'm going to pick one over the other, but I think she is the original and hands down. And I think it was really cool for Eidos. Eidos was the original owner, right, of Tomb Raider, like 1 and 2, right?
I think it was. I think they made
Yeah,
the
I-
last.
Eidos Interactive, right? And I got to give a shout out to them that
first one.
prior to, like,
From the way back.
yeah, like way back, is that they chose a female protagonist. I just think that was rad, man, because that just was unprecedented at the time. So I thought that was cool.
I got it. I got the tiebreaker. Is all the gymnastics moves she can do in the originals that were like secret moves, where you like when you could like do the handstand up.
Oh, like, or like the triple jump to,
stuff.
like, get enough height to
Yeah.
reach places and stuff.
All right.
Yeah. So that is, she's like, yeah, I got to do all this really hard stuff, but I'm gonna do it in style.
I
So,
don't know.
yeah,
I just feel like in the reboot trilogy, like Lara, she's got so many. She just seems like she's got so many more skills. Like, I feel like she's doing all kinds of stuff to kill people, whereas Nate is just running and killing a bunch of people with his gun, running around. And then I'll give him credit; he's a great climber, and a
He's
few
also
puzzles,
funny.
but-
I agree with that. He's hilarious, but
No, I love Uncharted. I think I love the Uncharted. The Uncharted franchise is my favorite PlayStation IP. Like, I love Uncharted, but as far as who's going to be the better one, I gotta give it to Lara.
original Lara.
Not reboot Lara. Guys,
Did they discriminate? Did they distinguish between the two? Like just
no.
I think it was
or
as a
maybe
whole.
not original
No.
Lara, reboot Lara.
And did they say Nathan too for some reason? Because they're like PlayStation fanboys. Moving on, you guys. Let's close the show like we always do with the best food we had this week. I've had so much, so I'll go in the middle here. So, BubbleBoy, have you had any food this week, or should we skip you?
Barely.
He's been eating ice cubes all
I had
day.
more. I know. That's what I've been doing. I had more Eunice bread, more garlic rosemary Eunice bread. That was amazing.
All right,
right,
BubbleBoy
that's it.
giving us some bread is his best food this week. Jose, I'll go next. Guys, as you know, I returned back on Tuesday, and I've continued my epic eating saga, and I got to give a huge shout out to Burrito Express. I was mad when I saw the price was what did I say? What was it? $7.70?
$7.
$7.
Yeah.
But you know what? Gosh dang, those burritos are
Delightful.
still amazing and they're incredible. I ate 2 of them. Amazing. So shout out to Burrito Express. Also shout out to Freddy's. My gosh. Bacon, the spicy Freddy sauce, not really worth it. Actually, yeah, Freddy's was the best food I had this week. I was blown away.
All right.
But also, here's where Snelling, I'll give you a little credit. In-N-Out, definitely more affordable. But man, that burger from Freddy's you got to go with the California style one, you guys. That is the winner of all the. I bought all three. The standard, nah. The bacon one, good. But when I was eating that California style, delicious, paired with the Freddy sauce, incredible.
Hold on. Freddy's, not Five Guys? I thought you were talking about
No,
Five
I'm talking
Guys.
about
Freddy's.
Freddy's. Gotcha.
Freddy's.
Okay.
Yes, with the Freddy's fry sauce. Also, shout out, I got the Chicago style hot dog.
Yeah.
Amazing
a
too.
winner.
They have hot dogs. Like, it's incredible. But again, the price, you guys, you're going there. It is kind of premium, kind of like a Five Guys almost. So that was my only thing. And also, shout out, took my dad out yesterday to Mount Fuji. I told you guys that. Got my standard sushi. He loved it. So shout out again. And also had Costco pizza tonight, Jose. So shout out to the Costco $10 pizza.
Tell the
and
fans,
beer
what
at
was your
Costco.
total
Jose, go
at
ahead.
Freddy's? They want to know, what was your total bill
Ooh,
at Freddy's?
okay. So guys, this was for 2 people. I got 3 burgers, a hot dog. Did I get anything else, or was that it?
6 sauces.
Curds? You
Oh
got the
yeah,
curds, right?
it was this. There was a cheese. So yeah, my dad's. Oh yeah, that's what I got. My dad he wanted the Alaskan cod fish and chips meal, so I did the.
Don't put him down for that. Like,
No,
come on.
I
you got everything on the menu.
True.
You might as well get.
True. We did get a variety. You're right. And so he wanted the fish, and we got curds, and he got a pop. So guys, by the way, $41. Ooh,
Lucky.
for that amount of food. Lucky, yeah. So, but worth it. I'm not gonna lie, it was incredible. So Jose, tell us what the best food you had.
So as I already alluded to a couple times this episode, we just got back from Disney World in Florida, and it was absolutely, truly magical. Really, as a father and I'm a Disney fan. Like, I'm not going to shy away from it by any means. Like, I genuinely have a good time, and I just have learned when we go to those things, like, it's going to be expensive, and once you can get past that, like, it's a lot more enjoyable, and just it is truly. As a parent, it's pretty magical to see like the joy and like genuine like emotions that you see your kids have when they're there, which is great. But one of my favorite parts and my wife's favorite parts about Disney is the food. So a couple of things I'm just going to briefly break down each day very quickly. I'm trying to get this done in like 3 minutes. So day 1, we were in Epcot, and the best thing I had there was in China, and it was the honey chicken. It was delightful. If you ever go, we were able to walk right in and get a table. Honey chicken in China was fantastic, but I want to definitely give
the
it
poutine, huh?
I mean, I like the poutine, but I got a stir fry version that like it was like a special of the week, and it was fine, but it wasn't my favorite. But my honorable mention goes to Paris. They have a really awesome treats restaurant that's like tucked in the back where you can get like macaroons and creme brulee and stuff like that. And they had this like focaccia cheese flatbread that was absolutely to die for. Like, it was fantastic. So that was my honorable mention. Day 1. Day 2, we went to Magic Kingdom. Best thing I ate was in the Pinocchio's land. And part of it was because, like, honestly, when I say like Pinocchio's land, everyone's like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, no one wants to eat there because it's Pinocchio's land. So we could get a table right away. Our food was ready right away. And it was like an all meat pizza. It came with a garlic breadstick and a treat and a drink. It was like a great combo. Highly recommended it. And then my honorable mention was a funnel cake that we had right outside the Haunted Mansion while we watched a parade. God, I love the classic funnel cake. My kids loved it. They had never had one. Day 3, we went to Animal Kingdom. Best thing, hands down, people go to the Yak and Yeti restaurant. It's in the far back. It's between Asia and Africa. And I had a Kobe burger, which was delicious. I definitely recommend that. But the best thing I had there was their dessert. It was a cheesecake wonton set that had like a sauce over the top of it and fresh strawberries and pineapple. Oh my Lord. I would get that. I'd get that as a meal. I'd buy 2 of them. I don't care. Judge me. I don't know these people. And then honorable mention and shout out to my wonderful wife. We went to Rainforest Cafe for lunch, and I was like, I don't know what to get, because it's like standard like restaurant fare. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, I kind of think we should split the sampler platter. And I was like, as the meal? And so that's what we did, man. Like Southwestern egg rolls, mozzarella sticks, artichoke dip. Like, it was rad, dude. So shout out to that. And then day 4, we were supposed to go to Hollywood Studios, which is like where Star Wars Land and stuff is at. We actually went back to Magic Kingdom. And it's not because we didn't want to go do Star Wars. That's really cool stuff. It really is. But it's because it was Easter Sunday. And we were like, my kids really wanted to go back to Magic Kingdom. We didn't do all the rides the first time, because I will tell you something. I thought going at the end of April was going to be like kind of light crowds, like it's between the spring break and summer crowds. Chipotle Bear was wrong, like dead wrong. It was insanely crowded and crazy long lines. And they don't do the Fast Pass stuff anymore. They do this whole Genie Plus thing. It's a whole other thing now. It was crazy busy. So anyway, we went back there. And honorable mention that day at the Friars Nook, got a tots and a hot dog. It was just a good old quick lunch in the middle of the park. And my number one thing was actually not in the park. At the end of the day, it's the end of our trip. We go back to the hotel, and I got the clearance from the wife to just buy a whole pepperoni pizza for Chipotle Bear and the kids. And I knew that meant they were going to eat one slice together, and I could eat the rest by myself.
Yeah.
So that was the best thing that I had. And there, shout out to All Star Resort for having that pizza. Because here's the kicker. So a slice of pizza, for math people out there, was $9. One slice, and to be fair, it's a quarter of a pizza, right? A whole pizza was $18. So literally, by the time you buy a second slice, just buy the whole pizza. So we just bought the whole pizza. Anyway, highly recommend it. It was a great week of eating. And then the best last news here. I have this cup, and it's upstairs. I should have grabbed it. It's my refillable cup from Disneyland. I bought it the last time we went. It's a Star Wars cup. It's insulated. I love that thing. 19 refills, people. Guess how much it cost me?
All right. $12?
$0. Right? Like the first day I walked up to the lady and I said, hey, can I get this reactivated? I'll pay for it, whatever it is. And she's like, oh, sure. And she's like, there you go. And I was like, oh, I don't have to pay. She's like, no, it's with your reservation. So all day at the resort, anytime we were there, I was going to get refills all day. In the parks, it doesn't work because that's a different system. But 19 refills. I saved $76 just on refills, which I will happily accept. So it was a good trip, guys. It's glad to be back, though.
Shout out to Chipotle Bear and the cup to rule all cups. Gentlemen, this has been Xbox Record This, episode 51. We got another big episode coming up next week. My name is DaddyDWALLY. You can find me at DaddyDWALLY across all social media. Thank you so much for listening to our show. You can follow the show at Xbox Record This on all social media. Chipotle Bear, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Chipotle_Bear. And I actually just fixed my account this week. I didn't realize that Dan couldn't see when I would shout out the show on there. So I fixed that. So hopefully I have a lot more interactions, which is great. And then you can also find me on Instagram at ChipotleBear. You can be like our two newest fans, Michael Berquist and C. Fowney, and join that ever-growing crowd of XRT super fans. That's where you can find me.
And BubbleBoy, where can people find you?
I don't know.
All right. Thank you to all our new listeners. All the shout outs, please write in. Bacon, Bizzle, Fowney. I expect some write-ins. And as always, XRT fans, see you online.
See you online.
See you online.
Dale was telling me that he's really into Kung Fu, and I was telling him that you're really into Kung Fu as well.
I have a green belt. Read it and weep.
I don't believe in belts. There should be no ranking system for toughness. But one time I wrestled a giraffe to the ground with my bare hands.
It's not true, Dale. Don't be ridiculous.
Xbox Record This is a podcast created by Daniel Walenzik. You can follow him at DaddyDWALLY on all social media. The assistant to the co-host is Jose Martinez, and you can follow him at Chipotle_Bear on Twitter. The assistant to the co-host is Chance Siegel, and you can follow him at BubbleBoy N7. You can follow the show at Xbox Record This on all social media. If you'd like to find out more about the show, visit xboxrecordthis.com.